I was looking before we started the show at you've got some gambling stats in the notes that I was reading before the show. I mean, one of them that stick. I mean, a lot of them stick out. I don't know which one. If you want to go through some of these, excuse me. But one was there was $136 million bet on the Super Bowl with just the Nevada books. Is that just Nevada?
That's just Nevada, yeah. And they won $12.6 million on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, upsetting the Kansas City Chiefs this year, according to the figures released by Tuesday by the Nevada Gaming Control Board. That's actually a lower number, like I said, than previous seasons. It's 12% down from last year's Super Bowl. That's in part due to the occupancy restrictions in Las Vegas casinos amid this coronavirus pandemic. So it's still the fifth most since the state began tracking the betting on the action since '91. 5 of the 6 reported 1 million plus bets on the Super Bowl were placed in Nevada. So, Illinois, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, also among the states that have reported wins on the Super Bowl. And betting handle definitely spiked in many of the new jurisdictions that have launched illegal sports betting in recent years. The data leading from the geolocation, from the GeoComply show firm, that's the firm, it's called GeoComply. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Showed a 267% year-to-year increase in online betting over Super Bowl weekend, despite several sports books experiencing service disruptions in the hours leading up and during the game. Even the big books that I know, their apps were very slow moving. That's the kind of handle. And we're not there yet. Even these multi-billion-dollar sports books back in New Jersey, I've been told we're very slow getting their bets in. So a couple of them were good. Speaking of New Jersey, $117.4 million was bet on the Super Bowl with New Jersey sportsbooks. It's a 116% increase from last year's game. And after suffering net losses, literally, it's so hard to believe net losses on their first 2 Super Bowls, but they did. New Jersey books actually won $11.3 million from gamblers. Then you can go on to other jurisdictions like Illinois, $45.6 million, Pennsylvania, $53.6 million. And they also had nice little wins in their markets. So anyway, you can go into the one long shot that did come through that I heard about was the Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes throwing 0 touchdown passes, like I said earlier. So that bet was a New Jersey bettor placed a $3,000 bet on Mahomes not throwing for 15-1 odds and won $45,000. Now, here's a perfect example.
Yeah. No, that is still the casino coming out on top, right? Because 15-1 is so not fair. That's ridiculous. That should be a 500-1.
But considering there was supposed to be over/under was like 7 touchdowns in the Super Bowl, that was that's just really almost not fair. But it's fair. The guy won $45,000, but
sure,
the true odds are probably more towards 30-1. So it's just it's interesting.
Yeah, for sure. And so obviously Nevada is taking a hit because of all the new jurisdictions that have gambling, right? But I think it's for the greater good as a whole, and even for Vegas. I think in big picture, because it's not like people aren't going to not come to Vegas anymore. It just gives them that option. I think the more people that have the opportunity to bet on sports means the more gamblers, means the more new gamblers, means when people come there, even though we may see a dip here in Vegas, I think when the casual sports bettor that downloads an app because he lives in Michigan and he bets on the game, we all know that's what hooks you, right? And then you have a new person now, right?
You bring up a great point, John. Exactly, 100% correct. This is going to bring a new, I don't want to say genre, but this is going to bring all these new up-and-coming guys to gambling and sports betting that never bet sports before. Now they have a legitimate reason. Now let's go to Vegas. We got, nightclubs, we got partying, we got Super Bowl time. So this will be, Vegas will be back for sure. Even though this is a little bit lower of a year, it still ranks in the top 5 since they've been keeping track. When this pandemic thing is over and we're back to normal, and hopefully next season, this Vegas, don't forget, these parties in Vegas are limited to 50 people. They usually have thousands. So Vegas will be back, and they'll be stronger than ever, and they'll have bigger numbers than ever eventually. So you bring up a real good point.
Yeah, and I guess so. Last year for 2020, the Nevada books won a net 122.4 million on football bets between college and pro, and it's the most lucrative football year that for the state bookmakers ever. So the money's still coming in here too.
Absolutely. And we had Jay on last week, Jay Kornegay, who's the head of Westgate Las Vegas, the Superbook. And he said the betting on the handle of the Super Bowl at his shop was similar to how much was wagered on last year's game between the Chiefs and 49ers. So in normal times, Kornegay also said that Super Bowl Sunday in the sportsbook feels like a heavyweight fight is going to take place. This year, he said it was more like a welterweight fight. I love that.